The Godfather of ground and pound.
We finally here, man.
He's out. He's out. He's out.
Father of ground and pound.
Oh, good headbutt there by Coleman.
He's out. He's out. He's out. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You show.
Hold on, bro. What? Hold on, bro. Hold on. Mark Coleman. Y'all been wanting me to react to Mark Coleman for a minute now. We are here.
Shown a domination that we haven't seen in this sport since the very beginning. You right now are the best reality combat athlete on the planet Earth.
Reality.
For a long time, it's time for me to get some respect out there.
Tommy.
And left hook uppercut finds its mark and down goes Coleman.
Time me to get some respect out here. Head kick knockout.
It's time for me to get some respect out there.
And left hook uppercut finds its mark and down goes Coleman.
Going through the battle with the addiction was one of my toughest fights ever.
Former UFC champion Mark Coleman says he's among the victims of Dr. Richard Strauss.
He performed unnecessary genital exams on all of us, all the time.
Wasn't
Unnecessary genitals. Hold on, what we doing here? What?
easy for me to come.
Hold on, what's going on here?
Unnecessary genital exams on all of us, all the time.
Wasn't easy for me to come forward, but I decided to do it.
Fire from Fremont that left a UFC Hall of Famer fighting for his life.
I yelled at my mom and dad, Mom, Dad, Mom, Dad, Mom, Dad! I thought they were dead.
I'm the happiest man in the world. I swear to God, I'm so lucky.
If you enjoy stories
Bruh.
about legendary fighters, make sure to hit the like button and
Bruh.
subscribe. Now let's step into the world of Mark the Hammer Coleman. Born on December 20th, 1964, in Fremont, Ohio, Mark Daniel Coleman grew up an
Like, comment, subscribe, man. I appreciate everybody who support, bro. Let me know who you want me to react to next, though.
energetic child who was introduced to
Bro.
wrestling at just 5 years old.
My childhood had a great mom and dad.
We were poor. I got 3 sisters and a brother.
Was he a wrestler too?
Yeah, but he struggled with following in my footsteps. He got diagnosed with spinal bifida. I'm blessed with a great family.
As a kid, I was a very shy kid.
I didn't want nobody to be able to bully me. I wanted to be the baddest man on the planet.
I really wanted to be the best in the world as a little kid. And I trained. I could do 100 push-ups in a row at 5 years of age.
From the start, he displayed an
Damn.
aggressive style and relentless drive that set him apart.
There was no MMA when I was a kid, but there was an MMA in my mind. I wanted to be the toughest man in the world.
By high school, Coleman had become a multi-sport athlete, competing in football and baseball, but it was wrestling where he truly shined.
I was a 3-sport star in high school. That's all I ever did is play football, wrestling, and baseball. I was all state in all 3 of them. When I got to college, it was just too much. I had to cut too much weight, so cutting weight for wrestling and playing football, it wasn't a good match, so I just stuck to wrestling.
At St. Joseph Central Catholic High School, he made history as their first state champion in 1981. He went runner-up the following year while injured and capped his prep career with a second state title in 1983 at 185 pounds. Already standing 6 feet 1 inch, Coleman's physical presence made him a formidable force. After graduation, Coleman pursued collegiate wrestling. He first competed for Miami University of Ohio, where he became a 2-time Mid-American Conference champion and earned All-American honors in 1986. His ambition
Damn.
drove him to transfer to Ohio State University.
Coleman was at Miami University of Ohio and then transferred for his senior year and then won the NCAA championship in 1988.
Fulfilling a
What is
childhood
it,
dream to
championship?
wrestle for the Buckeyes. In 1988, he delivered the pinnacle moment of his amateur career, winning the NCAA.
Damn! That hard! To be on top as a champion, I know it hurts everybody else to be at that bottom. At the top, though,
Division I national
you
championship
feel
at
like
190
the
pounds.
man.
Well, I was the national champion for the Ohio State University in college. I got hired on as an assistant coach.
It was here that Coleman first met fellow wrestler Kevin Randleman, a younger teammate whose
Okay.
ferocious athleticism and drive mirrored his own.
I went to college. I went to the Ohio State University and met Mark Coleman.
I was his coach for 5 years.
The
That's
two quickly
hard.
formed a bond that would grow into a lifelong friendship
Rest
and
in
brotherhood,
peace, man.
both on and off the mats.
Rest in peace.
But my main job was to prepare myself for the Olympics. I coached the wrestlers, but most important for me was to make the team. So I was all in on being an Olympic champion.
Coleman finished his season with a 50-2 record and his overall college career at 101-12. Coleman then turned to the international stage. He captured gold at the 1990 and 1991 Pan American Championships, as well as gold at the 1991 Pan American Games.
Damn.
Three-time Pan Am Games gold medalist. It's not that tough of a tournament compared to the Olympics.
That same year, he earned silver at the World Wrestling Championships in Bulgaria.
Keep
His
it real.
crowning moment came at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics.
I won some state titles in wrestling. and I won a national title in wrestling. I made the Olympic team. It was one of the coolest experiences of my life.
This is probably my proudest moment ever,
Where he represented the United States in freestyle wrestling at 100 kilograms, finishing 7th.
I choked big time at the Olympics.
After the 1992 Barcelona Games, a disappointed Coleman faced the prospect of waiting 4 more years for another Olympic chance. But when the UFC exploded onto the scene in 1993, he realized a whole new path had opened up for him.
Well, I was amateur wrestlers, no money in wrestling. I was 31, getting kind of old for wrestling, and the grind was just brutal. I had to make a living.
When I first hear about MMA, I'm sitting living on college with all the Ohio State wrestlers. Then all of a sudden, we ordered this pay-per-view. Holy crap, I watched UFC 1 with a group of wrestlers on a Saturday night.
I was addicted. I was mesmerized. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to win this shit. And that's when I knew I have a life.
I was just so overwhelmed, so amazed. But at the same time, I thought about when I was a 5-year-old kid. This is what I wanted to do. But why did they wait till 1993 to create this sport?
I was hooked immediately. I had to get in there somehow. This is my money. This is my sport. That's just the way I felt. I had to find a way in.
I didn't know how to get in.
After the 1992 Olympics, Coleman stepped away from competition for nearly 3 years.
93, I did Mark Curry and Kurt Angle a favor by taking a long time off and hitting the bottle for 3 years.
Before returning in 1995 with renewed focus.
So then in 1995, entered a Sunkist Open tournament in Arizona, showed up there 3 years out, and there was Kurt Angle in the tournament.
Kurt
I had
Angle.
strength on him. I came out and I beat him 2-0 with 0 training. He won the world championships that year. 6 months later was the world trials. I left that tournament, went back to Columbus, and picked up the bottle again.
In 1996, Coleman
Why the
made
hell
a
was he
final push
picking
for
up
the
the
Olympic
bottle?
team, but fell short at the trials.
And then the Olympics were the following year, and I didn't train for those either. And I had Mark Kerr in the first round. I beat him in the first round, which did Kurt a big favor because that was the main guy he was worried about. And then I lost to somebody, and then Kurt walked away with the win, and then he wins the Olympic gold medal with a broken neck.
And I even won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Failing to qualify for the 1996 Games marked the end of his Olympic dreams. After the Olympic trials, Coleman was approached by a promoter who recognized his raw potential.
That's crazy.
Was met by a promoter who was given a spot in UFC 10. He told me he's got a spot, and he's looking at me, Mark Kerr, and Tom Erickson.
And offered him a chance to compete in the newly rising Ultimate Fighting Championship.
And basically, I talked my way in. I told him I'll whoop their ass, and I'll beat Don Fry's ass. I said, I'm the man for the job.
I said, I made it clear to him. I said, yes, I want in, and more than do I want in. I will win it.
I didn't want to read the contract. I just wanted in. So I signed that contract that day. It turned out to be a pretty shitty contract, but that's okay.
So 2 days later, he secured it, called me up and said, fly out to Arizona. Next thing you know, I'm walking into UFC 10 versus Modi Hornstein.
Watching the early UFC events, Coleman instantly recognized that wrestlers had the tools to dominate.
Jiu-jitsu, it rocks, but they ain't got the sperm that the wrestlers got.
At age 31, he shifted his focus from Olympic mats to the cage.
I've been beat up, beat down for 28 years in wrestling. This shit's gonna be easy, is what I thought.
In July 1996, Coleman debuted at UFC 10, entering a one-night tournament with no prior professional MMA bouts.
Here comes Mark Coleman, 1988 NCAA champion out of Ohio State.
Jiu-jitsu came in there. It was ahead of the game. Nobody knew what it was. But then the big wrestlers came in there, and we showed you sure as hell better know how to wrestle if you want to ever step in an octagon.
He bulldozed through 3 opponents in one night. First Modi Horenstein, then Gary Goodridge.
What? Gary Goodridge.
Using
I've been
his
hearing a lot of
explosive
Gary
takedowns
Goodridge.
and brutal signature headbutts.
Oh, good headbutt there by Coleman.
Headbutts was
Crazy,
my go-to.
man.
Very simple game plan. I was a world-class wrestler. Nobody could stop the takedown. And then all of a sudden, I'm allowed to headbutt you in the face with this head.
It opened up everything else and almost made it unfair.
He
The
do
first
got a
rule they put
cranium.
in is no headbutts, probably because of me.
I like fighting with no rules.
I loved it. That was violent, no fear, and throwing a headbutt, savage.
And then tournament champion
Savage.
Don Fry in the final.
15-minute mark.
Bro, why he had Bud down, bro? See, Mark Coleman don't play with the legend like that.
That is all.
Mark Coleman in his first UFC
Look at his head.
will be a winner. Mark
Congratulations.
Eat horse meat, bro. I'm not rolling.
I did this for my freestyle
Sorry, now
buddies
I'm playing.
and wrestler in general. We don't get enough credit for as hard as we work. I did this for you guys. I did this for my mom and dad and all my friends. My coach, Richard Hamilton, who gave me this opportunity to be here.
2 months later at UFC 11, he again won the tournament, defeating Julian Sanchez.
He's going to go for a choke right here. Going for the submission, and there's the tap out. That's it.
Brian Johnston.
Keeps him from sliding.
Oh!
Well, Mark, this is probably the most bizarre finish we've ever had at a UFC. A lot of fighters are hurt, broken hands, cuts and such. You have been declared the winner. You're a two-time UFC champion now.
With a 5-0 record, Coleman was already the most feared heavyweight in MMA.
If you can't wrestle, you can't fight. A lot of the fans don't love the wrestling part of the aspect, but that's what makes this sport. If you want to be able to strike and knock somebody down, you better learn how to defend a takedown or you'll be on the ground taking damage.
I told everybody, listen, wrestlers were going to dominate for a long time, but eventually the other martial arts are going to take over because it's going to be wrestlers learning how to kick your fucking head off and smash you in the face without any fear.
At UFC 12, Coleman
True
fought
story.
Dan Severn for the inaugural UFC Heavyweight Championship. Originally scheduled to take place in New York, the event was relocated to Alabama.
We were in New York all ready to go.
Nah,
And
Severn.
all of a
I
sudden,
still
at 8
gotta watch
Friday night,
Don.
UFC called us and said, go pack your bags. We're flying to Alabama.
After New York authorities refused to sanction UFC events at the time, he submitted Severn in under 3 minutes, becoming the first UFC heavyweight champion.
Word?
Congratulations, unbelievable, impressive performance. I won't be around for a long time, and I don't see myself getting beat.
Coleman
I don't
had
see
gone
myself
from debut
getting
to
beat.
champion in just 8 months.
You've shown a domination that we haven't seen in this sport since the very
He big
beginning.
as fuck.
You right now are the best reality combat athlete on the planet Earth. And I think the fans know that.
I've known that for a long time. It's time for me to get some respect out there.
That is what
Time
I
to
wanted.
get some respect out there.
To be the best in the world at something. And I hadn't achieved it yet. Wrestling, I came close. And now, in fighting, I am the UFC champion.
His blend of takedowns and punishing strikes introduced the sport to ground and pound.
I am the godfather of ground and pound.
You were the one who came up with the idea of ground and pound and the term. Probably the first to ever use that term.
I did. I invented the term.
You trademark it?
I should have, big time.
Would have been the best term in the history of MMA.
Yeah, I was drunk when I did the interview with Roy Smith.
I said, I'm going to take this guy to the ground and I'm going to pound the effing shit out of him.
Said that right on TV. They cut me off. They knew I was hammered.
Following his rise as UFC heavyweight champion in 1997, Coleman established Team Hammerhouse in Columbus, Ohio, one of MMA's first true fight camps.
Immediately, I knew I was going to need a team. I had a lot
Nigga,
of friends,
he built
wrestlers
the
that could
UFC.
fight. I started Team Hammerhouse. I was the coach. I coached all these guys. I coached myself while I was competing. If I did something differently, I would have focused more on myself instead of focusing on my teammates, because it took too much of my time and energy to train these guys and took a lot away from me.
Bringing together wrestlers like Kevin Randleman,
First thing I thought, oh, gotta get Randleman.
Working with Mark Coleman being my coach, he and I are the pillars of Hammerhouse.
When he trains, he was a badass, but he had similar problems as me. Both like to have some fun.
Wes Sims, and later Phil Baroni.
Phil, the New York badass Baroni, my teammate. I love Phil Baroni. I don't agree with everything Phil Baroni does. Come on, but I support my guys. And the Hammerhouse, we were tight. We were a team.
We're still all good friends, and Hammerhouse is for life, brother.
But his reign didn't last.
After I won the world title, I fell off.
As soon as I beat Severn for the belt, I went over to Brazil.
You know, me and the monster, Kevin Randleman, we had a blast wherever we went. We kind of took over that country for a little while, but it got me in a lot of trouble. They're going to fly me in and pay me to do an appearance. I wasn't used to something like that. And, of course, there's beautiful women all over the place over there. And
I partied my ass off for a month. I blamed the whole country of Brazil for my first loss.
I ended up staying for 30 days and then came back. It's absolutely one of the stupidest things I've ever did in my life.
Yeah, I flew back to America and I got 2 weeks to train for Maurice Smith. I just thought I could whoop him. I'm gonna whoop him real easy, real quick. And oh man, that was the most humbling night of my life, man. 3 minutes into it.
UFC 14 in 1997, Coleman lost his title in a shocking upset to Maurice Smith.
And knocked him out with a headbutt, woke him up with another one, and then shit started getting tired real quick. And all of a sudden,
A kickboxer who weathered Coleman's wrestling storm and outlasted him with superior conditioning.
20.
He was tired, boy.
Minutes, man. It was torture.
I thought I was going to die of a heart attack that day.
And new UFC heavyweight champion of the world.
It was one of the UFC's earliest turning points, showing that well-rounded skills could overcome brute force. The loss spiraled into a slump.
I became the champion, and after that third one, my head just went like this. I started partying. I couldn't handle it, so I started drinking and celebrating, chasing women.
And I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. Humiliated by Maurice Smith. Well, then I had the rematch lined up and tore the ACL, so that fight's off. Rehab the ACL. Okay, they're going to bring the hammer back. Pete Williams ended up being the opponent they determined for me. I have no clue who this guy is, right? Wasn't a good day. But when I went in there with him, it was the first fight without headbutts. I was looking him in the face, just dreaming that I could just headbutt him.
Coleman was knocked out by Pete Williams at UFC 17 in one of the promotion's most famous head kick KOs.
And now the hammer is a bit stunned.
I ain't even gonna lie. I wish I was allowed to see that live. The fact that you could see Mark Coleman, that beast of a man. Look at his shoulders. Nigga's shoulders like that. He got head kick. And, bro, that's crazy. Bro, that head kick was nasty. That was like that Leon Edwards and that Usman head kick. That was nasty.
Unbelievable pandemonium inside the octagon. The hammer is down.
Oh, I gotta see that shit again. That head kick was nasty.
Hammer is a bit stunned. Unbelievable pandemonium inside the octagon. The hammer is down. Williams.
Holy shit, you talk about something you never dreamed of happening, and it does. It happens to me. I've only broken one bone in my life. The Pete Williams kick broke this bone. I don't want to complain, but it's just a fact. There was conspiracy to get rid of the hammer. Big John McCarthy, he allowed Pete Williams to grab onto that fucking cage for literally minutes.
He definitely
Big
grabbed
John
it.
didn't say one word to him. And then later on during that fight, I'm up against the cage. I touch the fucking cage. And Big John yells at me, let go of the cage or I'm going to penalize you. I'm really irritated. It's never been addressed. I just know Big John McCarthy owes me an apology.
Big John McCarthy, and I've noticed in a couple videos, John McCarthy, boy, you be on some weird tight time, boy.
Kick in the head. It would have never happened.
Then came a controversial split decision loss to Pedro Hizzo at UFC 18.
I had lost 3 straight fights in UFC. I didn't train, but the alcohol had controlled me.
Pete Williams don't knock me out, and then they screw me in the Pedro Hizzo fight. I won that fight. You ever see it?
Yes, of course.
Did I win?
Yes.
I win that fight. I get cut.
After his close split decision loss to Pedro Hizzo at UFC 18, Coleman was released from the promotion as the UFC struggled financially and began cutting higher salaried veterans from its roster.
I certainly never wanted to leave UFC. The loss to Pedro Hizzo forced them to release me, and I had no choice. Changed the whole path of my career, find a different job, and go fight in Pride.
By 1999, Coleman had left the UFC on a 3-fight losing streak, his invincible aura gone.
I'm 33 years old, champ, to being laughed at by everybody. I didn't let it get to me. You got to convince yourself that these guys are all worthless nobodies who don't know nothing about Mark Coleman. Only a few people have any idea what it's like to be a world-class wrestler for one.
Talk
to
to
be a
him.
world-class MMA fighter. Now that's a whole different level. I had to convince myself I can still do this shit.
Seeking new opportunities, Coleman signed with Japan's Pride Fighting Championships.
I got cut by the
legend continues.
And Pride came at me and said, "You want to fight for us?" I said, "Hell yeah." Takada. Oh, what? That's fucking easy fight. 300,000. I said, "Damn, life's good." 300,000 yen.
His debut at Pride 5 in
300,000
1999
yen.
was infamous.
How much US dollars?
I guess
How much was 300K yen back in the day? US dollars. Somebody let me know in the comments. Somebody break that down.
Finish was a pretty weird finish, wasn't it? Damn. That's why I needed to work on my jiu-jitsu.
He was submitted by Nobuhiko Takada, a pro wrestler with a 0-4 record. The result sparked years of suspicion that the fight had been fixed to boost Takada's star power.
And then they said, "But you have to let him win." I said, "Fuck." You know, I thought about it. I have no options, and I did it.
Never is they doing that. Why y'all trying to do that, bro? Don't try to put bad name on Pride, bro. Don't do that, man. He did say it happened though, so
I ain't ashamed of it. I did it.
What is he doing? He goes into the guard of Takada. He should just pass the guard right here. Coleman's punching to the thigh of Takada. Uh-oh. Oh, no. He's got to get out. Oh, no. What?
Yeah, that fight was rigged. Yeah, that fight is suspect, man.
Coleman has
That was nasty.
I don't believe this. How the hell did that happen?
Coleman
was
himself
nasty.
later hinted financial pressures influenced the bout, saying, "I needed to support my family."
I had to do it to get into Pride. To get into the Grand Prix, I had to fight Takada and lose.
Coleman's redemption came at the 2000 open weight Grand Prix.
And I showed up at the Pride Grand Prix. Nobody wanted me to win that. I'm talking about the promoters and the business people. Their favorite was Mark Kerr, Igor Vovchanchyn,
Igor!
Little did they know, I put in one hell of a 6-month grind. Grinding like I was going for the national championship at Ohio State. I did okay with the minimal help. 10 days with the boy Pat Militech. And Pat Militech, the genius he is. He learned what I could and couldn't do. That man's awesome. Love him. I owe him.
He defeated Masaki
I owe him.
Satake, Akira Shoji, and after Kazuyuki Fujita withdrew injured, advanced to face Igor Vovchanchyn, one of the most feared strikers in the world.
He was 30-fight undefeated when he fought you.
Yeah, they tried their hardest to fuck me over. The night before, they said, no knee into a down opponent. If he's belly down, can't knee him to the head. I'm like, that was my plan. But then they said you could knee a downed opponent if he's on his back. But I said, that's impossible.
Coleman fought aggressively, took Igor down, and finished him with knees to the head to become the Grand Prix
nasty,
champion.
bro. That's the first time. I would just watch the Igor video. After this video, y'all go watch that one. Y'all see Igor tapping? The fact that he made Igor tap is insane to me, bro. Because Igor don't tap. 30 fights, MMA, hitting, biting, headbutting. He don't tap. Mark Coleman tap. That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Mark Coleman, salute. That was impressive.
Stuck in a corner. I kneed him in the head 16 times, and this guy was not knocked out. So I mean,
He didn't feel none of it. He didn't feel none of it. Igor is different.
The moment The moment resurrected his career and cemented his place in history as the first American to win Pride's biggest tournament.
Mark Coleman has won the Pride fight.
He beat Igor. That's impressive. Mark Coleman is 1-1. You beat Igor, you 1-1.
I won the Grand Prix. That brought some peace to Mark Coleman because I have the whole world saying, you're done at 33 years of age. 33 years of age, I'm done? Can't be true.
After winning the 2000 Pride Grand Prix, Mark Coleman entered negotiations with the promotion for a better contract, hoping his tournament victory would secure a well-deserved pay raise. However, Pride declined to offer improved terms.
They did not want me to be their champion. I win it. I go into negotiations. They offer me the same pay as I was getting before I won the Pride Grand Prix.
Damn.
Pride offers me no bonus, no raise, no nothing. I want more money. I negotiating guy decided we're gonna wait till they come out.
With no new deal from Pride, Coleman decided to try something different.
My break came when Pride teamed up with a big organization in Japan, and they asked me if I could pro wrestle.
And stepped into professional wrestling, joining New Japan Pro Wrestling in late 2000.
What?
That was cool.
Coleman also signed a new deal with Pride, allowing him to balance both careers.
I never left MMA.
After the Grand Prix, Coleman defeated Alan Goes.
Oh my God, Alan Goes? I think you retired him.
There we go. There it is. He's not going to be able to Is he knocked out? He's out. I think he's knocked out. He's out. He's out.
You feel bad about that?
My sensei?
Yeah.
But fell to Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira in 2001. He stepped away for a time, focusing on Team Hammerhouse.
You guys used to terrorize that place, huh? When you went out there for Pride fights? You guys had a nice little squad out there.
Yeah.
Randleman, West Ham, Brandon Hinkle, Nick Nutter.
Coleman returned in
Nick
2003,
Nutter.
beating Don Fry in a rematch. He then lost to Fedor Emelianenko in 2004 and was brutally
Fedor.
knocked out by Mirko Krokop in 2005.
First of all, Fedor and Michael Krokop is two of the straight legends. There's no fault in losing to them. And you not beating Fedor in the first
Krokop fight. I'm sitting, call me up. Fight Krokop, 2 weeks. Hell no. I said, I'm drinking a Heineken as
Hold
we
on, run it back.
Mirko Krokop in 2005.
Krokop fight. I'm sitting, call me up. Fight Krokop, 2 weeks. Hell no. I said, I'm drinking a Heineken as we speak. And then they just kept going up with the cash. Up. And that's the last offer. And then you sell your soul to the devil. I said, you can't win in this sport. 2 weeks training. But I did it. He three-pieced me up, man.
He did bum. He said, hell
It ain't so bad at about 4 a.m. when Saki Kabara slides you over 150K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they got this little superstar named Shogun Hua coming up.
In 2006, Coleman was matched against rising star Mauricio Shogun Hua. Pride saw the matchup as a chance to elevate their next big name by using the veteran as a stepping stone.
43 years of age. Because it was the last fight of my contract, I said, well, let's extend it. And they offered me peanuts, man. $15,000 a fight.
What?
Yeah.
In Pride?
And I said, that's it. You guys fucked up. I'm going to ruin your plans.
And I realized, okay, I'm fighting for my next contract. It's on the line here. If I beat Shogun Hua, I will be in the biggest, most powerful position I've ever been in as a fighter.
But things didn't go as planned after Shogun broke his arm in a scramble.
And Coleman escapes nicely and gets the takedown and has it back. Unbelievable! Coleman is just, oh no, an injury.
But everybody making an excuse saying it was a freak incident. It wasn't a freak. I world
Yo, why they want to keep showing this shit, bro? I don't
wrong and blew it out.
After the fight, chaos erupted when members of the Shoot Box team, including Vanderlei
What the
Silva
hell?
and Murillo Ninja Hua, stormed the ring to confront Coleman, furious
fuck?
over Coleman throwing extra punches after Shogun's injury.
I didn't know what happened, so I didn't. I'm on top of him. All of a sudden, the referee's on me quickly, and I'm confused. Japan's trying to fuck me here. I got this boy right where I want him. I thought they were up to something. I just threw the ref off. I knew something was up. I didn't know what, and I threw a couple lame punches, didn't touch him. Then his brother jumped in the ring.
I basically got attacked by a bunch of Brazilians, including Wanderlei Silva.
Outnumbered, Coleman had only Phil Baroni and his father in his corner.
Baroni is a badass, but I wouldn't mind having the monster and Wes Sins with me, because when this shit broke out afterwards, the Brazilians were coming. They were coming at the hammer.
The confrontation quickly exploded into a full-scale brawl, becoming one of the most infamous moments in Pride history.
After that, you get mad at me.
I was excited, man.
Bro,
No.
you know that shit bothered me for years?
Oh, come on, Quinn.
Yeah, because I didn't know what was going on.
Quentin! I needed some fucking help out there. Fucking sucker punched 3 times out there. Ninja and fucking Silva, they both suckered my ass. Mackenzie, Morgan, Daddy's coming
Damn.
home.
He said, Rampage.
It bothered me
Rampage,
for
what the fuck?
years.
Oh, come on, Quinn.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't know what was going on.
Rampage, you supposed to help
I
the
needed
brother,
some
man.
fucking help out there. Fucking sucker punched 3 times out there. Ninja and fucking Silva, they both suckered my ass. Mackenzie, Morgan, Daddy's coming home. I love you, man. This is for you, my family.
After the Shogun fight, Pride made its U.S. debut with Pride
It's in
32 in Las
Rampage.
Vegas in
What's going
October
on?
2006, choosing Coleman to headline against heavyweight champion Fedor Emelianenko in a rematch.
And I beat Shogun Hua. They needed me now. Pride's coming to America, and they need me to fight Fedor, because I was the biggest American name now. I ended up deciding to fight Fedor for my biggest paycheck ever.
Well, Pride went all the way up to 250,000. I'll throw it out there.
Coleman's daughters watched from ringside as he fought valiantly before being caught in an armbar, a moment made unforgettable by his emotional embrace with them afterward.
Come here, baby. I'm okay. Daddy's okay, baby. Daddy's okay, baby. I'm okay, baby. I'm okay. Say hi to Fedor. Say hi to Fedor. He's a nice guy. Say hi.
Fedor to go, man. You guys have a Fedor to go, man. This is crazy, bro. This almost got me in tears, man. I can't lie. That's insane. That almost got me in tears, man. This is insane.
I'm okay, baby. I'm okay. Say hi to Fedor.
Damn.
Say hi to Fedor. He's a nice guy. Say hi.
That girl on the right side, I ain't saying Nathaniel. I ain't going for it.
After the Fedor fight, the UFC bought Pride, and they decided they're
I
going to
love
put me
that,
in
bro.
the UFC Hall of Fame.
Columbus, Ohio. And Wes Sims started a rumor that they're going to induct me into the Hall of Fame when they come to Columbus. He just started on an interview what blew up. Fans took it and ran with it.
In 2008, Coleman was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame.
And Joe Silva called me up. He said, hey, we're going to induct you into the Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we pay tribute to Mark the Hammer Coleman.
All right, I am here with the most recent inductee to the UFC Hall of Fame, the godfather of ground and pound, Mark Coleman.
Hall of Fame, pretty cool.
The Godfather.
I ain't done. And then they waited till like the night before the show, called me up.
After Pride folded, the UFC brought Coleman back and told him he'd be facing the organization's newest powerhouse, Brock Lesnar, in a high-profile comeback fight.
Here's a contract.
Well,
Don't
Coleman fought
negotiate.
Brock
Sign it.
We want you to fight Brock Lesnar. I knew I had my hands full with Brock Lesnar.
However, while training for the bout, Coleman suffered a serious knee injury that forced him to withdraw before the matchup could take place.
Maybe it was a blessing from the Lord, but in training for my MCL, I told UFC, hey, if you guys are going to cut me if I don't fight Brock Lesnar, I said, I'll fight that guy.
So the fight's canceled, but hopefully they find somebody else for me.
And I'm looking to go down to 205. So then they call me back, and Shogun Rua was my first fight back in the UFC.
At 44, he returned to the octagon. He lost to Shogun Rua in a spirited rematch and earned Fight of the Night.
Didn't have it that night, man. But I just didn't prepare. And they were going to cut me after the fight of the night. And I said, man, just give me another shot. And then UFC 100, Stephan Bonner.
At UFC 100, he upset Stephan Bonner, becoming the oldest fighter to win in the UFC at the time.
I had a nice training camp for that. I won.
My Stephan Bonner fight was my most memorable fight ever. 44 years old, and I beat that guy.
His final fight came in 2010 against Randy Couture at UFC 109.
But then, unfortunately, right back to the bottle. And then I had the big opportunity to fight Randy Couture, short notice. And I didn't even put up a fight that night because mentally I was out of it before the fight even started.
Couture submitted him, and Coleman was released. He officially retired in 2013 with a 16-10 record, a UFC title, and a Pride Grand Prix crown. Retirement brought hardship. After the fight with Randy Couture, Coleman's body finally gave out. Years of wear and tear left him needing hip replacements.
I was in severe pain for years on this side of the body. I didn't even know it was my hip. Finally, I went in and got the hip MRI. They pretty much told me there is no hip. The ball and socket is gone.
I was fighting for one.
There is no hip.
Sucking it up, getting therapy.
I got the hip replacement.
And during his recovery, he was invited to join the Ultimate Fighter Season 19 as BJ Penn's wrestling coach, passing on his knowledge and old school grit to a new generation of fighters.
It's been one of the neatest experiences of
BJ Crazy Man Penn. It's like, nah.
my life other than actually competing.
It felt great for 6 months. I went and did the Ultimate Fighter show, and I couldn't help but get in there and wrestle with these guys. Talking to them wasn't working, so I had to show them it worked.
Following his stint on The Ultimate Fighter, the hip failed again.
But then once I got off the show back home, it had popped out 6 times.
Doctors discovered a severe staph infection had developed, forcing another major surgery and a long, painful recovery.
When he cut me open, probably 2 years worth of staph.
And all of a sudden, he's got to take that whole hip out because it's just loaded with infection and put a temporary one in. It's just made to help heal and get rid of this infection.
Mounting medical bills forced him to sell his prized Pride Grand Prix trophy.
I don't know how many thousands, but it's what sold the belts.
A GoFundMe by Wes Sims.
What? Simple has the most dramatic thing that earned from. Who got that mama? Tell the man, whoa, who got it? I'll buy that one right now. Who got that? That's crazy, bro. He had a really, bro, a legend. Man, a legend going through this is insane to me. Like, the UFC should pay him weekly or monthly. He should be on a retainer.
Raised over $45,000 with donations from fighters and fans.
A month ago, your good friend Wes Sims started this GoFundMe account, and you've received $45,360 in donations. One of the notable ones, Mark Hunt, donating $5,000.
Mark
Did
Hunt.
you know about this?
I didn't know what Wes was doing. It took off so fast. It's so humbling.
He's going to go back in and put in the 3rd permanent one, which is in there now. It's doing pretty good. Thanks to everybody at the GoFundMe page who helped donate, helped me.
Shout out to Mark Hunt, man. I'm still going to do that video on Mark Hunt, too. That video is coming.
It did, so thank you. I'm grateful more than you
Shout out to everyone
ever
man.
imagined.
Following The Ultimate Fighter, Coleman's health struggles and repeated surgeries took a toll on him mentally and physically, leading him down a difficult path of alcoholism as he tried to cope with the pain and loss of purpose after fighting.
I couldn't control it. Fighting kept it in check for many years. Wrestling, I was real clean during my whole wrestling career, but once the fighting was over, I had nothing to keep me from grabbing another bottle. Nasty, nasty drug. I liked the way it made me feel, took away all my fear. Going through the battle with the addiction was one of my toughest fights ever.
In 2016, Coleman faced another devastating blow when
Rest
he
in
learned
peace,
of Kevin
man.
Randleman's sudden passing.
It's a very sad day in the world of mixed martial arts, as today we are mourning the loss of former UFC heavyweight champion Kevin the Monster Randleman, who passed away on Thursday at the age of 44, suffering from pneumonia, and then it was heart failure that Jeremy Botter first reported on Thursday night.
And well, Kevin Randleman with Mark Coleman, those guys were one of the first crop of fighters that put together these super teams.
Losing his closest friend and longtime teammate broke him deeply and became one of the triggers that led him into years of heavy drinking and personal struggle.
Kevin Randleman was the most charismatic, energetic, outgoing, kind, generous, giving person, loyal. I was blessed to be able to spend 30 years of my life with that guy, and we did everything together.
And I speak for the entire MMA community, if I can, to thank you and to thank Kevin for everything that you guys did for this sport that we love.
In this year, Mark Coleman was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame's Fight Wing for his legendary battle with Pete Williams.
What an honor, what a privilege. Thank you to everybody out there to be in the Hall of Fame 2 times. I'm pretty lucky.
After his 2016 induction, Coleman spoke to the media about how much Kevin Randleman had meant to him.
I mean, we lived together, wrestled together, fought together. I miss him bad. I hope they can get him in Hall of Fame here soon. It'll happen. It has to. Look what he did. I just think the sooner the better.
After being honored in the UFC Hall of Fame in 2016, Coleman faced one of the most difficult moments of his personal life 2 years later.
Former UFC champion Mark Coleman says he's among the victims of the now dead Dr. Richard Strauss. The Ohio State team doctor is accused of sexual misconduct by more than 100 former students.
In 2018, he came forward as one of the victims of Ohio State team doctor Richard Strauss, revealing that he too had suffered abuse during his college years.
Victims say the abuse took place between 1979 and 1997. Strauss died in 2005. Coleman released a statement Thursday saying he wants to cooperate with investigators.
It was a painful chapter to reopen, but Coleman's decision to speak out helped bring awareness to a decades-long pattern of misconduct and gave strength to other survivors who had stayed silent.
Mark, when did you first meet Dr. Richard Strauss?
86, the first day of practical, the physicals, of course, and Doc Strauss was very hands-on, let's say. It was an eye-opener.
He performed unnecessary genital exams on all of us, all the time. We didn't know
what
we know now, grooming and sexual abuse, but he was the doctor. He was the guy that cleared us to wrestle. If you had injuries, you had to go to him. He earned our trust.
Look, man, you needed this guy to compete. This guy's got to sign you off. It's that simple for me. I wanted to be a national champion.
Weird ass niggas, man. Somebody should go to his grave and beat his grave up. Oh, goofy. Look like a weirdo. Because I'm not even allowing him to die before I get my vengeance. Soon as he say lift your dick, man, what? I'm not going. That's just me though. I don't know.
Cause problems.
He always had a reason, wanted to see your genitals. The university's still in court with almost 250 victims, survivors. It's hard for people to talk about male-on-male sexual abuse, especially male-on-male elite male athlete sexual abuse. He had a locker in our locker room. He had a locker in the gymnast locker room. He had a locker in the swimmer's locker room. He spent his day going from one locker room to the next locker room.
Our locker rooms were open to the public. The whole facility was filled every day with predators. They waiting in the locker, waiting in the showers, waiting in the sauna for the wrestlers were their favorite.
I mean, you got dudes masturbating.
This is not fun to talk about, to put it mildly.
Just go with it, man. You got to deal with stuff. And I'm just super proud because I know how many people I've helped do it coming forward like that. It wasn't easy for me.
But you know what's crazy, bro? Back in the day, it wasn't a lot of cameras and wasn't a lot of stuff around. See, nowadays, it's probably harder to get away with stuff like that. But stuff like that back in the day, it probably was easier because with nobody, you got to really go to somebody and tell for somebody to find out, bro. Because that's crazy.
Come forward, but I decided to do it.
Around 2019, Mark Coleman also went through a breakup with his longtime partner, Tina, with whom he shared his youngest daughter, Skylar.
Rock bottom, man. 10 years after my last fight, I was miserable. In a horrible, toxic relationship. Got her pregnant. It was just total disaster.
Through all this, I was a stay-at-home dad 4.5 years. When I was with her, I didn't drink during the day until the mama got home. And then when I left is when the alcohol really picked up.
The separation added to the personal challenges he was already facing.
The drinking gradually got more and more and more. It got to the point where it was around the clock. I would just take breaks.
You would wake up and start drinking?
Wake up, hell yeah, I had to have it.
I'm not a functional drunk. I'm not really making money. I'm not doing anything. I gave up on life.
Leaving him to navigate fatherhood.
So I stayed there with this woman, getting abused physically and mentally, and it beat me down. I did it for my daughter.
Declining health and growing loneliness during one of the most difficult periods of his life.
This woman cut me off from my family, my friends, everything. I forgot who I was. The booze just kept adding to it.
As low as you can get, living in an extended stay hotel. The cheapest, the most disgusting. Nobody ever came there. Nobody really knew I was there. I secluded myself from everybody. That's what alcoholics do.
In 2020, Kevin Randleman was posthumously inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame's Pioneer Wing, honoring his explosive athleticism and championship legacy.
Me and his wife, Elizabeth, she made sure we're going to be here tonight celebrating Kevin's incredible life that he lived.
Mark Coleman, his closest friend and mentor, accepted the award on his behalf, delivering an emotional speech through tears as he celebrated Randleman's life, their brotherhood, and the legacy they built together from Ohio State to the world stage.
It's not hard talking about Kevin Randleman. He was just that good of a guy.
What do you think he'd say about the honor?
This is one that he always talked about. He always wanted to be in the UFC Hall of Fame. He always said we're going to be millionaires. We are millionaires. I judge his wealth on how he affected other people. And I don't know anybody that affected people better more positive way than Kevin the Monster Randleman.
A few months later, Coleman faced a life-threatening moment of his own. And he suffered a massive heart attack caused by a 100% blockage in a major artery.
100% blockage. Oy. My artery was blocked, stuffed to the gill. I knew something wasn't right. It happened like at 7 o'clock at night. I just thought it was going to go away. My arms weren't feeling right. Something just wasn't feeling right. And then about 2 a.m., I started getting a little bit concerned.
He was rushed into emergency surgery, and against all odds, he survived.
Because I'm just sitting there praying that. Finally, I heard the doctor say, oh, yeah. He got a little chunk out. He was able to get it all out, clear it all out, and they didn't have to put a stent in for some reason.
Later saying he felt as though he'd been given a second chance at life.
Still in my head. Sometimes I can feel chest pain and I get all freaked out.
In 2021, Mark Coleman made the decision to confront his addictions head on.
And then finally, a good buddy of mine, Wes Sims, he come knocking on that door.
It was his former teammate and close friend Wes Sims who convinced Coleman to enter rehab.
But he was like, you trying to kill yourself?
He asked me if I was trying to kill myself. No.
Yeah.
I just didn't care though.
Giving him the push he needed to finally seek help and turn his life around.
But the size of that man fits his brain and his heart.
He said, well, I got a rehab place ready to check you in today. I'm like, no.
Shout out to Wes Sims, man.
He's like, I go,
real friend.
I recommend a hospital because I knew they would give me drugs in there. So I stayed in the hospital for a week, but week in the hospital, like fourth day in there, the doctor come up and said, Mark, you got to take a shower, dude. Wes took me home. I said, all right, take me back to my parents' house. So I got a week clean, you know what I mean? I went home with my parents, not going to rehab, Wes. Maybe tomorrow. No, we're going tonight. And I finally gave in. Let's go. Checked into rehab, and that's the best choice I ever made in my life.
It was a major turning point in his life as he focused on rebuilding his health, finding clarity, and taking back control of his future.
You got to get help. I checked into rehab. I surrendered, and I learned how to live life sober. And it's the greatest thing I've ever done.
You know, my higher power took away the obsession for me to drink.
And now I work.
You have to stay busy to stay sober.
We'll have to work the rest of my life. And if anybody's out there struggling mentally or with alcoholism, you can't do it alone. Reach out, get some help. It'll change your life for the better. It's not easy, but it sure is worth it.
During his recovery, Coleman credited his longtime friend and former training partner Mark Kerr as one of his biggest inspirations, saying that Kerr's own journey towards sobriety motivated him to stay strong and keep fighting for a better life.
He motivated me. He got sober, and that eventually helped motivate me to get sober. So God bless him. I'm so happy he's got his life together. We're good friends, and I love that guy. He's turned his life around, and he's doing very well.
In March 2020,
Mark Kerr ain't alive, is he alive? No, Mark Kerr is alive. I'm tripping. I don't know why I said rest in peace, Mark Kerr, like he dead or something. I'm thinking about who I'm thinking about. Did I just watch a video on who am I thinking about? Kevin Ronaldo.
24, Coleman went through what he described as the worst experience of his life.
I believe March 12th is when this happened, right?
Man, we thought we lost you for a second, man.
Yeah, it was as close as it sounded.
Why did the fire start? Does anyone know?
That's what they don't know, the mystery.
Waking up to his childhood home in flames, helping his parents escape.
I'm back, I yelled at my mom and dad, Mom, Dad, Mom, Dad, Mom, Dad! And they didn't answer. I thought they were dead. I said, we gotta go now. The house is on fire. Let's go. They jumped up. They're in their underwear.
And being overcome by smoke while trying to save his dog.
We were involved in a house fire that destroyed my childhood home, my parents' house. We lost everything, but by the grace of God, my higher power, I was able to somehow save my parents and myself. I tried very hard to get my dog Hammer. Wasn't able to. I'm not totally sure how I was able to go back in and out 4 separate times and still be here today, able to tell you about it. It truly is a miracle.
Rest in peace, man.
Plans for me to move forward.
God guided me through that house, man. It was dark.
After the fire, Coleman was hospitalized for severe smoke inhalation and placed in a medically induced coma.
Me in the ambulance, and I told him I'm fine. I wasn't fine at all. I took in a lot of smoke. My lungs, they never seen that much black tar. They couldn't tell my daughter if I was gonna make it or not because they had no clue. But I remember being a little bit awake and hearing my daughters were there. My daughters were there the whole time. And
Coleman miraculously recovered after several days on life support.
And then finally I woke up. They pulled the things out of my throat. I woke up and there's my kids. And just a big, big relief to give them a hug.
Man. I swear to God, I'm so lucky. I can't believe my parents are alive. Yeah. Because I got out of my room and went to the door and it was already horrible. I couldn't breathe. I almost had to go outside. And I went back and got him. I can't believe it. I got him, but I couldn't find Hammer.
God damn,
I'm overwhelmed
boy.
right now by the outpour of love and support I have received. I've always said I have the best fans in the world. I had no idea I had so many.
We came through with my mom and dad still alive. I didn't quite have enough in me to get my dog Hammer.
Me and my dog Hammer
Shout out,
started
man.
every day together at 4 a.m. I tried so hard to get him out. If I stayed one more second, I would have died.
Chill
the
out,
only
man.
thing bringing me peace is he did
Y'all be
not
trying to have
burn.
me in tears
Found
in
under
the
the
video.
bed with not a hair out of place. He died with smoke inhalation.
He woke me and he's a hero. He'll always be with me the rest of my life. He meant the world to me. My first dog ever. 3 daughters, and Hammer was my son.
You're a hero. Your dog is a hero.
The right place at the right time. I got released from the hospital yesterday, but I have developed pneumonia. On the top of this, I am home resting with my family.
Sheesh. He got some great genes. I tell you that. His genes are fire.
Like I always say, tomorrow is not promised. Live in the moment and find peace today. Hammerhouse for life.
Hammerhouse for life, man. No count.
Blessed to be here.
Real
I'm
champ.
healthy.
The real
Health
champ
is
champ.
wealth.
That's
in
crazy,
2024, Mark Coleman was honored at the World MMA Awards, receiving both the Lifetime
Lifetime
Achievement
Achievement.
Award and the Fighting Spirit Award, the latter recognizing his incredible bravery in saving his parents
He built
from a
the
house
UFC
fire
for real,
earlier
bro.
that year.
He's one of the nicest
He a real
guys
one,
in the
bro.
world. He's a legend in the
He a
sport.
real
He
one,
just
man.
saved his parents from a burning building and went back in and tried to get the dog and could have died.
That's crazy.
He's been through a lot of things in his life. He's battled some demons, or he's winning, I should say, right now. I think he's got a great relationship with his kids, and he's in a good place, man. So I'm happy for him. It was an honor to honor him tonight.
That same year at UFC 300, Max Holloway insisted
Yeah,
Coleman present the
that
BMF
That's
belt.
hard.
Do you want anyone in particular to wrap the BMF title around you, Max?
I mean, the only correct answer is Mark Coleman, man. Especially with when he went through it recently. Guy's a G, bro. That's a real life
Straight G.
BMF, so.
I love Max for that. That's a Max thing to do, though. That's a Max thing to do, though. Straight G. Knowing a straight G. Want a straight G to wrap the belt around him. I'm sorry, Dana. Go ahead, Dana. We don't want you to wrap the belt. Nah. Let us straight. That's hard, though. That's hard. I didn't even know that. And I watched that fight.
C300, Max Holloway insisted Coleman present the BMF belt.
Do you want anyone in particular to wrap the BMF title around you, Max?
I mean, the only correct answer is Mark Coleman, man. Especially with when he went through it recently. Guy's a G, bro. That's a real life BMF, so. I
Swear to God.
Would be sick if he did it. It would be an honor to get him to do it.
Wow, man, that was see that. And then Dana said, it's done. UFC 300. I've been asking for tickets for this for a long time.
300
I'm so
is hard.
excited to be here. I get to wrap that belt around the winner of Two Bad Mother Freakers. Thank you, Max Holloway, for getting this all started. It just melted my heart hearing him say that. And then
that's hard, man. Yeah.
Agreeing with it and okaying it. Then the fans got aboard. That's the only reason I'm here today. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon.
Shout out, man.
I'm so excited. UFC's bringing me into UFC 300. I'm in training. I'm the backup for every fighter. Let's go.
Mark the Hammer Coleman is remembered as the godfather of ground and pound.
Godfather of ground and pound. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what I did.
He was the first UFC heavyweight champion and Pride Grand Prix winner.
I feel blessed to be a part of this from the beginning.
His fighting style shaped generations. His highs and lows mirrored the sport's evolution, and his battles outside the cage showed resilience equal to anything in competition.
And now the respect that I get from these fans, that's kind of what I always wanted as a kid, is respect.
His story is one of triumph, controversy, tragedy, and redemption, a true pioneer whose legacy is forever etched in MMA history.
I hope to be involved with MMA till the day I die.
Damn, I ain't gonna lie. That's a hell of a story, man. That's a hell of a story. That is a hell of a story, bro. That done had me in tears. I ain't gonna lie. I understand why y'all told me to watch Mark Coleman. I understand it, bro. Y'all be giving me some great watches. I'm not even gonna lie, but this is crazy. But look, y'all already know what to do, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Y'all want me to discover more legends. You know what I'm saying? Support the channel. Subscribe. But I'm showing that video, man. Shout out, man, Mark Coleman. Let me know where I got Mark Coleman ranked for as far as the old legends. Like, as far as him and Don Fry, him and Randy Couture. Like, as far as the old legends, Kelvin Randleman, Mark Kerr. Let me know y'all got him ranked that, man. But I'm showing that video. Y'all already know.